Cool.
You think for the announcement at the bottom, I should paste like all the chat GPT prompts, like, you know, on a scale of 1 to 5, how satisfied are you with this chat GPT generated text?
Gonna get an F on your essay if you do that.
Fortunately, Glue's the one who grades the essays too, so.
Collusion!
I'm going to drop it in and see if anybody notices it. All right, I'll let people filter in for a few minutes, and then we'll go live or introduce and stuff like that.
Yay. Watch me have some sort of technical issue in the middle of the run. It's gonna be quality.
Sorry, we'll get Gretham in there.
Oh boy. I've never run a Chaos Seed before. So it'll be interesting. That's why I just signed up for tracking, because I have no idea what's going on in Chaos.
Chaos is not difficult. If you're good at Ultros League, you'll be fine with Chaos.
Good enough, I guess, at Ultras.
It's mostly just, there tends to be a few random things that you need to look out for that you might not expect, but until we get into true chaos, and that's another story.
True chaos is I ran a true chaos this morning. It was something. But overall, there's just like a few little things you have to pay attention to, which we have on this seed.
All right, in about 100 seconds on the dot, microphones will go live and stuff like that.
I think the one that's easiest to overlook is under Steel. If it says shuffle, if it's not shuffle none, it doesn't just shuffle the items that you'll steal, but it also shuffles the items that enemies will drop. Which you'd probably start to notice anyway when you need to kill some Bloom Pyres and get 3 offerings.
You notice for sure when you find Katana Soul.
Yeah.
And you get Mithril Helm.
It's good to go in knowing it.
Yeah.
So with Chaos Seeds, the item shuffle does not happen unless you put in the argument and loot. Because I don't know when the last time the Chaos bot has been updated with the new flags that have been added.
Interesting.
There's some other flags that are not affected as well with Chaos. Thank goodness too, like Iron Mog mode.
All right, 30 seconds, and I'll do the introduction.
Yay.
All right. Thank you guys again for doing this with me, and we are educating the masses. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Hello and good evening, Muggles and Yamaros of all ages. My name is Drinks Blue, and I am blessed tonight to be joined by Jexroxu with the pair of commentators, and Gretham on tracking is going to walk us through inside the mind of Jexrox of how to approach a Chaos Seed, how to review the flags, how do those flags impact what is going on in the gameplay, and that unique combination of a chaos roll. How will he tackle it? He will show us live. But first, allow me to introduce our first commentator, Tersman. Tersman, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to seeing some weird stuff.
Yeah, and we also have Series Rose joining us well on commentary. Series, how are you doing that, my friend?
I'm doing well. I got forklift certified today, and I'm excited for some chaos.
Very related events.
Look, I've been thinking about this all day, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, and then one last person to introduce, Jexwax himself. Jexwax, what do we got going on tonight?
Hello, everybody. All right, we have chaos going on. So if anybody is familiar with in the Discord, there is a seedbot channel or a seed share channel. You can create your own chaos seeds, random seeds, and true chaos seeds. There's 3 different variations of it. If you type in the seedbot channel, exclamation point random, the flags are based off of Ultras League with slight variations with exclamation point random. What we are doing is exclamation point chaos. That's the mid-tier stuff. The variations from Ultras League are a bit greater. Changes in enemy scaling, a greater variation of the progression you need to unlock Final Kefka, and some other various things that some of it can drastically change your gameplay. And then there's the third option, which we will probably be doing at another time, is True Chaos, where it gets nutty. It gets very, very nutty. But this is, if you are used to Ultras League, you should do absolutely fine with exclamation point chaos. So, we are going to go over the flags here. Anybody have any questions before I start going over flags?
No. Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay. So, I'm going to just do a run through of the flags, as I normally do with my streams. So, we have character gating. Okay, cool. No spoiler log. We have 2 random characters. Either of them, or both of them, could be Gogo or Amaru. Let me see. Characters do not start average level. That's a biggie. That is a very important flag to keep in mind. I'm glad I just spotted that one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Also, characters start naked. That is another big one. Wow. By the way, Hefe rolled this seed for me. Thank you very much for rolling me a dumpster fire, as is tradition. Let me see. Most of the time, I don't worry about the variations of commands. They generally don't matter too much. I mean, like, if I see, like this one right here, we're looking at lures. 7 to 12 starting lures. Awesome. They are worth looking at. And it definitely does not say original, so if it was original lures, pass right over it. Never even look at lures. Rages, whatever. If we have rage, we look at the commands when we're in battle and see if we have anything good. Dances, I almost never pay attention to dance. Steel chance always. That can come up with certain battles, like Dullahan attempting to steal, like a Genji glove.
Now, Jexwax, can I throw a question at you while you're going through this?
Yeah, sure.
So you mentioned start average level was false, and that was a big one to catch. And now you're also mentioning that some of these abilities, they're kind of a big old whatever. Like, lures 6 to 12 or 7 to 10. That's not going to impact your seed that much. So if you could pick the top 3 flags you would say that you'd always want to look for that would impact the seed and experience overall, that kind of get rolled in the chaos seed, what would you say those 3 are?
Scaling.
Mm-hmm.
Enemy scaling is a big one. Equipables is another. And I did take a peek at this one. There is some concern with my equipables. I forget if it's actual equipment or it's the relic side, but that can have some impact in your game. Definitely have impact in your gameplay, and make
Mhm.
you keep an eye out for specific equipment. There's also some combinations of other flags, like actual combinations of flags, that can make some things kind of concerning.
Mhm.
I don't think we have any of those here. Like, let's say we got enemy level scaling, progression times 3, which can happen. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. But you'll also have 3 starting espers. That can be a problem early game. So there are some combinations you do have to keep an eye out for. Commands, random unique. With X magic off the menu, we do have MTech. Excellent. I like that. Experience multiplier 3, that is another flag I look at. It very rarely drops below 3 on Chaos. Usually it's 3 or 4. Magic.
What's the default again?
Excuse me?
What's the default again? Like if we're not doing Chaos, but we're doing Ultras League?
3. I think it's 355 or 366.
It is 355, and no experience party divide, I think, is another one.
Ooh, yeah.
If you've been playing in the flashback battle royale, that may be one you may be familiar with recently. But I think that's another big one.
It is.
That you kind of want to catch, because it basically determines, can you get by with boss experience, or do you need to do some other grinding?
That is absolutely true. Or that even the no EXP party divide, if it was false, I would even consider 3 character party for the whole seed.
Mhm.
And then the tower climb, if I pick up an EXP egg, I can power level a 4th character right at the end.
Mhm.
And with characters not starting average level, that is absolutely an option with Esper bonuses. So that is something that I can use later on. So let's go down to our scaling. We have levels is enemy levels are equal to party highest level times 1.5. So if I am level 6, enemy is level 9.
Yeah, I'd like to interject here, because in the green room before the show, you seemed not too concerned about this, and I would love to hear why.
Okay,
Because this is terrifying to me.
This is not as bad as it looks until you hit the higher levels. Early game, it's kind of
Oh my god.
especially
Yes. Nice.
So here's the thing. In the combination of all our scaling flags, we got HP MP is progression times 2, and experience gold multiplier progression times 2.5. So that means our levels, we're going to be able to hit hard enough later in the seed to quickly kill enemies before their actual levels is going to be able to bash us into the ground. We're going to be able to stay ahead of them. So essentially, enemies are going to just be glass cannons for this seed. And even more so if I grind a couple extra early game battles and get my damage at a respectable level to literally practically one-shot stuff, if I go down that road. Usually
Okay,
it's something that I do.
So if the HP and MP was, let's say, like 2.5 or 3, like at what point would that end up being a problem, the HP MP scaling?
I mean, like, usually if I'm running into hard boss battles and they're taking me a while, it basically comes down to, when in doubt, grind for levels. That way you can jack up your damage, or stat boost certain aspects of your characters so you can quickly kill enemies. This seed is going to be a slog because of another flag that is active. We already know this. So actually that does make the level scaling a little bit more concerning. So let's get down to that. Let me see. Ability scaling is element with a ability factor of 2. That's normal on Ultra Sleek. That is standard. Max scaling level 69, so enemies can max out at level 69. So we can expect late game Fallen Ones, Ultimas, Mertens, and other nasty business coming from them. We have Scaled Dragons, which is fantastic for some early game strats. Reason being, fight a dragon, which dragons are shuffled amongst themselves, so we can go fight a dragon, get some high-end equipment if we need to.
Now, I think you just put on the screen the big one that was going to distort some things. Sirius, you have a little bit of experience with normalize and distort. Would you like to elaborate how much fun that flag can be when it's turned on?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a little tricky for me to describe all of the exact details about it, but some of the things that you're going to expect bosses to do aren't quite going to be the case. So I believe normalize and distort, it affects Final Kefka as well.
Oh, yes.
And
Sure
so
does.
it might be easier to talk about some of that. So you might it might be something where the stats are changed in a way where you kill Girl with 5,000 damage, or you get into Meteor phase after only doing 10,000 damage, and now Meteor is hitting for 3,000 instead of 1,500. So I believe it tends to make weaker bosses stronger, but it can also just throw everything off. And it tends to be most dangerous, at least for me, in Final Kefka, because that's the point where you really feel not being able to time certain things, like when you can expect Kefka to start doing Ultima, or when you can expect certain counters.
Yeah,
it'll get in your way the entire seed.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Quickest description for normalize and distort is we take all of the boss's stats, we throw them into a pool, and we spread them out randomly. So HP gets distorted, MP totals, strength, magic, all that wonderful stuff. And in some fights, it's not noticeable, like a poltergeist, maybe this XP rolls high, maybe it rolls doesn't. You may never notice, but it gets really noticeable when you're expecting bosses, as particularly Final Kefka, to have a certain amount of HP totals. And sometimes it gets higher.
Is that how normalize and distort works? They just throw the enemy stats into a pool and redistribute them?
Yes and no. They don't literally, take them all off.
So I noticed with Final Kefka, especially when I'm running Mystery Chaos, where I cannot see the flags at all on the screen, Girl is always my confirmation if normalize and distort is on, because the hit points are practically always the same. It's just a lot more than 9,999.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a full randomization. Like they keep certain things. Like I think they only take like half of some stats out to get distributed amongst the rest of them. Like strength isn't going to be at a 1 if it was normally at a 20, like that kind of thing. It's my understanding.
It's not any different than the character stats, about the same pool, because some bosses will have less HP. It is possible for Girl to have something like 7,000 HP, which is, obviously a great thing, because then the fight can go faster for you or easier. But more often than not, if that total is off one way or another, up or down, it just throws off what you're expecting to happen, because you're not used to that scenario.
Gotcha. All right. So continuing on, bosses are random, so we can run into repeat bosses. So that means, in theory, RNG, we could run into a seed where every single boss was Magi Master. It is possible.
If we're blessed.
I think we had a seed. We had a seed recently, I think, where the entire Kefka's tower was Ultros, because there's so many because there are so many different Ultroses. It just worked out that way.
Yep, I've seen that one happen. There's a Fumbaba 3 false. Okay, I'm happy with that. I hate seeing Fumbaba 3 mixed into the boss pool, especially when we got random bosses. It is one of the most annoying combinations you can run into. If anybody is not familiar with Fumbaba 3 will use, when you do a certain amount of damage to him, will use Baba Breath and knock 2 characters out of your party. And the only way to get them back in is to go back to your airship and retrieve them. So running into them, in the statue battle is awful. Absolutely awful. Because you got high-end characters that are like, oh, great, now I have to reclimb Kefka's tower if I want to fight Kefka with my high-end characters. Yeah, I've ran into that many times. Or if you're running through, trying to do engine room to ancient castle or up, or you're going to floating continent and boom, great. Now I have to do this with less characters than I wanted to and lose experience points on them. It's happened, but we don't have to worry about that today, thank goodness. Let me see, boss experience true. That is a very important flag.
So it looks like the no one dead got turned off. So is that the meaning that like bosses that are you could throw a Phoenix down at Phantom Train? Is that my understanding?
No.
Or do I got it backwards?
No. Yeah, I can use a Phoenix down on Phantom Train and insta kill him. Same thing with Phase 2 of Senior Behemoth.
And Haydn.
Haydn's undead?
Oh yeah.
Or hidden. Sorry, hidden. I like to call him hidden. And it knights. Alright, so what else we got going on here? Encounters are shuffled amongst themselves. Fixed encounters are original. Ooh, interesting.
Okay, so that means you know exactly where Katana Soul is.
Incorrect.
Oh.
You know it's going to be an Imperial camp.
Katana Soul is not a fixed encounter. It is a monster in a box.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
Let me see. Don't have to worry about Zinger. Don't have to worry about Major Master Death Counter or Doomgaze. So, something that I have learned. If Doomgaze No Escape is false, we know exactly where Doomgaze is going to be. He is going to be Search the Skies. I have learned this. We have 0 starting Espers. That's great for early enemy scaling. Spells 1 to 4 random spells per Esper. Normally it's 2 to 5. Random learn rates. Random bonuses with a 71% chance of bonus. I don't like that. That's low. Let me see. MP cost of Espers is shuffled. Multi-summon. That's a winner. That is that's a big flag right there. We can abuse that, especially if
and something.
Yeah, I'd like to interject real quick. Just noticed that equipable is 7 to 10. Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah,
where only 7 to 10 of the Espers are going to be equipable by each character?
Each Esper has 7 to 10 characters that are able to equip it. And naturally, there is only 12 characters that are able to equip Espers. So each Esper is going to have, or each character is going to be able to equip over 50% of the Espers. So that's not terrible, but it's not fun either. It's not good.
Yeah. It's good to keep in mind if you have, Siren or something in your back pocket that you're planning on using for Final Kefka, and you get to Final Kefka and none of the people in your party can use that.
Oh yeah, there's we got some flag combinations that can make this seed difficult for sure.
But the multi-summon is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I absolutely agree on that. And hopefully, say, I find Bahamut with a low MP cost because it's shuffled amongst themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say, getting Stray's MP cost, which is what? 13 to 20 or something like that? I forget what it is.
It's lower than Bahamut's.
Yeah.
By a lot. So it makes, multi-summon on Bahamut really easy and can make the seed go much quicker. We only have one character with natural magic, which is random. MP cost is 104 to 132% of its original value. So magic is just naturally higher. Compared to Ultra's League, we have 4,602 starting gold. Ultra's League starts at 5,000. 2 Moogle charms, fantastic. So in Kefka's Tower, we're gonna have to do the charm dance.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't have a huge effect on a majority of the seed, but like my heart sank when I saw 2 Moogle Charm. It's just like, oh boy.
Especially if you're like me and you have a habit of accidentally selling one.
Ooh.
Let's see. We got 10 warp stones, 5 Phoenix down, 6 tools. I like that. Yep, there it is. All right. Equipables is balanced 7. So each piece of equipment has 7 random characters that are able to equip it. So that is... So each piece of equipment, each character is a 50-50 shot if they can use it or not. Because there are 14 characters total. On the plus side, Relics is original plus an additional 52% random equipable. So one piece of equipment we want to keep an eye out for is Merit Award. That is going to be extremely useful.
Okay, so that just short circuits the whole thing. Does it? And now I apologize. I'm less familiar with Chaos stuff, I think, than the rest of y'all are. Does Merit Award short circuit all of that, or is it limited? Because I seem to remember it being limited to what it allows you to equip.
There is limits to the Merit Award equip, but usually if you're using a Merit Award, you're packing something high tiered, like Genji armor, Illumina's, Ragnarok's, Atma weapons.
Okay. So like the good stuff is in the list, so the bad stuff, or most of the good stuff is in the list, so everything that isn't quite as important.
Exactly. So if you've got a Ragnarok that you can't equip but you have a Merit Award, slap on a Merit Award, call it a day.
And a fun fact with the equip, with the equip, I've been in a situation where I uncursed the cursed shield and then took it off of the person, and no one could equip the paladin shield.
Oof.
Yep.
So if you can equip the cursed shield on someone, just plan on them being your paladin shield user.
In this
Because
situation,
it'll stay on them, yeah, until you hit like optimize or something.
Yep. Let me see. Google Charm. Oh, that's important. Though that is rarely turned off. Very, very rarely turned off. Let's see. Yep, normal. Item rewards, stronger Atma weapons, sword tech, critical. Shops are shuffled with a 35% random and cheap. Very cheap.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That's... Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
It's a good thing they're cheap.
Hefe rolled me a good one. A real good flag set. Guess what? We found our winning strategy. Already. Can anyone guess what that winning strategy is?
Is it balls and shields
Yep.
and rods?
Yep. Because we have priceless items. So shields are going to be dirt cheap.
Oh, okay. So elemental shields are. And is it just one, or is it just low or something like that?
No, they're
with priceless items.
They're going to be 1 or 2 gold costs.
Okay.
They're going to be dirty cheap.
I'm assuming that applies to like experience eggs and Illuminas, all the stuff that like elixirs, for example.
Yep. So why am I going to buy sleeping bags when I can buy elixirs? I mean, like, unless it's to remove status effects. Yeah.
And don't forget, you can't use mega elixirs out of battle.
Correct, but I'm still going to buy a pile of them for in battle. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a pretty good problem to have.
Yep.
And with that gold times 10, you're definitely not going to earn that money for it.
Yeah, this seed just got easy. Chests are shuffled with a 10% random. Monster in a box is shuffled. Excellent. So we could find an early Katana Soul and kill him, depending on what we have early on. Especially if we start with, say, the Tools command. We already have 6 starting tools. There's a high chance that we start with Noise Blaster, so we can nice and quick get ourselves an offering. But early game is gonna be all about searching shops for the good stuff.
Now, I did have a question on the chests. Is there a certain So what exactly does that random percent entail? And how is that going to change how much you care about chests?
So chest, no. So World of Ruin normally has a lot of good stuff. All of the chests are shuffled throughout the world. So chests are still worth looking at. Just that 10% random, like say that early game beginner's house chest with a tincture in it could now have been shuffled to have a Minerva from Kefka's Tower. But now that 10% hit and changed it over to a Scimitar. So now that Minerva is no more. It's now a Scimitar. So things could happen. But the shuffle is just in general just useful overall. Now if it was a higher percentage, generally I like for me the sweet spot of wanting to raid chests like crazy is if it's original or it's I think it's like 33% randomness or higher is when you really want to hit chests a little bit harder than normal, because you have a higher chance of finding high-end equipment. Colosseum, not even gonna worry about it with the freebie, with the nearly free shops. Let me see. Auction House has a max of 2 Espers. I almost never do Auction House. I do not have Zelfer luck. Alright, so we have access to EXP eggs. There will be no Illuminas. Sprint shoes are available. That may come up. We won't find out until we get to the bottom of the flags. No free pally shields. That's, not unexpected. We have free progression. No permadeath. No Ultima. Yes, we are able to save. So this flag right here, no saves, the Iron Mog mode, is not affected by any of the tiers of the chaos function. Thank goodness. If True Chaos were to get changed and shuffled around a little bit, no save should not be. Whoever would be in charge of that, I would highly recommend not messing with that one, because that would just make life miserable. All right, we have no glitches to worry about. We have regular movement, no warp, original event timers, YNPC none, and no NPC tips. Okay, so that covers the flags.
There was a quick one that it won't matter for this one because it's normal, but in another one of these seeds that we rolled, Bum Rush Last. If you end up being really desperate for damage, if Bum Rush Last is false, I believe you can just go straight over to World of Ruin and learn it. I think the cutscene takes a bit, so it's not always the best idea, but there are some times where it's...
minute and 20 seconds-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, that's less than I thought it was. It feels like 5 minutes when you're watching them jump around.
It's enough for a quick bio break. A real quick one.
Yeah, that can be really handy if you're starving for something to do damage, especially early on.
Oh, if we started with Blitz and had Bum Rush Not Last, I'd immediately be going for it. It's totally worth it. No questions asked. Get Bum Rush if you have it, or have access to it.
Now, if somebody has forgotten all of your sage advice, or they're looking through their flags and they see something and they're not sure of, what would be a good resource for them to find out?
What do you mean?
So let's say I'm looking at the flags. I'm doing I'm doing chaos for one of the first times, and I see that, I don't know, let's say normalize and distort is on, and I don't know what that means. What would be the best way to find that out?
I don't know.
Well, personally, what I would recommend would be going to the Worlds Collide wiki and going to the flag section. And there's a bunch of different categories that should line up with this. And then you can go to them. If you still can't get your answer there, you can always ask them in the Discord. And also something I just like doing, especially when I was first learning Chaos, was just having a side-by-side comparison of a regular Ultra seed and the Chaos seed I was going to run, and looking at the flags and seeing what's different. That way you're not looking at every single thing.
Yeah, eventually you get, like if you run as many Chaos seeds as I have, you get a feel for what to expect. Like I in general, I can usually just scroll down and just be like, okay, doesn't matter. Okay, we got something going on here because it's something straying from the norm. Because I scroll through every single time. And I usually stop at important spots, like bosses, to keep an eye on normalize and distort. Although every single time, normalize and distort pops on, I always miss it. It doesn't matter. I find out the hard way. Hey, this flag is active. Great. Quality entertainment.
Yeah, I think that would affect you the most if you really count HP for bosses when you're going through. I do that a little bit. I don't have a lot of the exact numbers. I can't pull those out of my head right away, but it can affect thinking like, okay, I'm at so such and such scaling. I can expect the boss to have about this much HP if it's a late game boss versus an early game boss. Blah blah.
Yeah, it usually comes down to just keep hitting them until they stop moving.
Everybody's weak to damage.
Yep. Alright, so objectives. This is another thing that can sometimes drastically affect your gameplay. So we have defeat Ice Dragon, you get a ribbon. Our unlock final Kefka. Any 2 of collect 8 characters, collect 8 espers, and defeat 2 dragons. It's probably going to be quickest to go for espers and dragons. That is probably going to be our quickest route. Yeah. See. Kill Ice Dragon, you get a ribbon. Complete 60 checks to learn 16 spells. This is not happening.
Oh, that's all?
M-Tech upgrade. Collect 26 espers and get M-Tech upgrade. That is not happening. That is like 100%ing this.
Well, I mean, if you're going to get 60 checks, you're probably going to find 26 espers along the way.
Oh, now we're talking.
Oh, hello.
So, we have a secondary M-Tech upgrade. Now, if we have M-Tech, yeah, we're doing auction. We're going to go win an auction and get ourselves an M-Tech upgrade. That's a no-brainer. That's a objective that drastically affects your gameplay right there.
So right. I've got a real stupid question about that bottom one. Is that any auction, or is that specifically the check-based ones?
I think it's any auction.
Okay, that's what I assumed, but I didn't know if it was maybe attached to the 2 that are set as checks.
Well, if we have M-Tech, we're going to find out. That's for sure.
Sweet.
All right. Well, with all of that being said, yeah. You guys ready to get this party started?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me make sure my timer's functional. It is. Someone want to give me a countdown?
3. Is that enough time? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go for it.
We have a Mog and Gal start.
Okay, I mean, depending on health... Well, there's magic attack. Okay.
Oh, we got a winner. Winner.
We know what Gal's going to be doing.
Now we have to collect money, but unfortunately, the high-tier items that are priceless is going to make collecting money difficult.
And everything has a low sell rate, too, because the prices are low.
Yep. So it looks like we're gonna have to grind for our money. Come on. Oh, Pearl Rod. That's good. That's money.
Okay, yeah, interesting. So in this, like with these settings, are you going to be thinking about selling a Pearl Rod instead of hanging onto it to use it?
Absolutely. In this case, to get my hands on MTech, I'm gonna do what I have to do. Chicken soup. Great.
Oh, hey. So priceless items can just be straight up $0. You can just be like, hey, look, we got Magicite. You want it? Pfft, I got a ton.
Yeah, they're just giving it away.
Here's your Crusaders.
Yeah. You want 50 of them? I don't care.
Yeah, sure, it's free. Why not?
Let's get 11 muscle belts.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, that sells for money. Chainsaw, don't care. Bioblaster, don't care. Don't care. Yeah, priceless item. Ribbon, that's priceless. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some soul searching here.
It's funny how it seems like no matter the settings, you really want to have as many earrings as you can get.
Oh yeah, I mean, so many moves are scaled with magic that like finding earrings, for the most part, is gonna benefit you no matter what you got.
Hello, return.
And it helps with breaking shields and rods.
Oh yeah, that too. Like that one.
Oh, priceless items.
And I mean, a double earring bum rusher is gonna, like, that'll be with you till the end of the game.
Oh yeah.
Now, are you finding what you want?
I want money. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it. I saw that force armor. I was like, oh, cool. Wait, no.
How about a cat hood? That would solve all the issues. Just because. We already got 10. Yeah, screen cherries.
I've had a few chaos runs where I made most of my early game money selling some of the like 15 Phoenix Downs that it decided I needed to start with.
Yeah, selling a few of the Phoenix Downs might be a good idea. Rev 5.
Yeah, I suppose with stuff like this, you just use whatever you got. Like if you offloaded 5 of those warp stones to get something, that would be perfectly sensible.
Absolutely.
Oh, there they are. Speaking of.
Yeah, problem is that shops are so cheap that like selling stuff is tricky. That's worth money. Oh,
Yeah.
that was worth some money. Rage Ring is worth nothing.
I've run into this before as a Zen Thief fan, where it's like, oh, this seed is so nice, everything's so cheap. Oh, I can never get enough money to afford the Zen Thief.
Oh. Alright. Going to ignore that. Ignore. And might as well check for elixirs. Nothing. Wow. That makes me sad.
So do you think stuff like the X-Ethers and those sorts of items, is that not something to just try to grab whenever you see them?
X-Ethers, waste of time when you can buy elixirs.
Yeah, alright.
Let's see. Hey, we got a winner. We'll eventually find some equipment they can use.
Yeah, let's just get 99 Thunder Shields.
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
Those will come in handy.
I ran into that in one of the Setzer seeds during Battlegrounds. And I found Thunder Shields or some sort of shield for like $30 and just, yeah, why wouldn't I have 60 of these?
You know what? We do have the money to win one auction. But first... we'll hit the World of Ruin side of things. And check out the shops first.
Yeah, I noticed you grabbed that cursed ring. I always forget that actually has a use.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it took me a while to keep that in the back of my head, because even on standard Ultros League flags, that's usually not more than like 500 or 600 gold.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Cursed Ring teaches X Zone, and you never think that you need to care about Cursed Ring until you get to Final Kefka and don't have any instant death, and you know that you sold a Cursed Ring at some point.
Yep, that Pearl Rod was worth a lot. And wow.
I mean, who needs Pearl Rods when you have 99 Thunder Shields?
Exactly.
That's actually a very good point.
Magicite again.
It's everywhere.
I still want all the M-Tech, because it still has some utility. Alright. Let's do this. Give me the 10,000 one. Okay. I think... Nope, we have to reset because we only have 10,000 GP. We'll go back to a little bit more looting. Maybe we'll run into a cache of cash.
Man, especially on a seed like this, you'd want to run into that 20,000 GP a lot more than any particular item.
Yep, pretty much. Zelford Cape. Garbage.
Is that one priceless?
Which one?
The Zephyr Cape.
No, but it's still... Ooh. Moogle skin. Charm Bangle, useless. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of running around the shops. Renamed cards, also useless. Actually, soft is... we want at least one. We do have 2 remedies. Fine. Jack up your magic stat a little bit. Garbage. Wow, RNG is not being very kind with the 30-some% random we have on shops.
I mean, there's got to be good items somewhere.
It's just a matter of finding it.
Yeah, I do tend to fall into the pitfall with seeds like this of desperately looking in every single shop for the perfect setup. And then I find out that someone else just got those 99 Thunder Shields and rocketed straight to the end. Especially with the Super Ball Relay, where the scaling on that is so light.
I am being very frugal with my cash flow right now.
Yeah, it does kind of make sense. I mean, none of this stuff is going to be better than a Magitech unlock, so...
There's a winner. Alright. got 99 flame shields. That is a big win.
Oh, hey, red jackets are handy too.
Yes, they are. Alright, we're gonna hit a World of Ruin shop. One of what I consider a forgotten shop. This one. Come on, hero rings. That would definitely settle the score on this.
This town's been getting a fair amount of play lately. There was a couple. I remember a couple of the flashback battle royale flag sets have had better shops than average, and I have noticed some people coming by here. I wonder how long this is going to be the odd man out. Like, it's going to just turn into the type of place that everybody comes to if shops are good because they think no one else is. Like a tourist town suddenly getting too popular.
I think it'll really depend on if we get a good joke out of it, like there's always money in the Miranda stand.
That one's hard to beat.
Yeah. Maybe something about Nikia and diming you. I don't know.
Oh,
It's not for me.
Yeah, that's something.
well, we found offerings. That's a big win if we get the weaponry to go with it.
One whole $1. Sheesh.
Ooh. Too bad. Let's see. Oh, we already got Regal Crowns, Red Caps, yes. Thornlit, no. And we are still looking for elixirs. Yeah, this is when you got a priceless item, see, this is one of the big things that end up happening is you're stuck running around looking for the good stuff and trying to save your cash.
Okay, found dried meat though. That's good.
Just in case we run into something unpleasant. Equip up.
Yeah, we did have was I think 89% escapable random encounters.
Yeah, so that means every now and then you're going to run into something that you can't run away from, and it'll probably be Siegfried.
Ha ha ha.
Give up? Hey!
Oh.
Look at that!
Oh yeah. Oh! There's another winner. Double winner. Wow, Mog does not want to equip anything. Well, let me see. That's a magic boost.
Wow. Zen's pretty good. Poor Nikia.
Still looking for my elixirs. Nothing.
Now, at least Gao is the one that has the ability that you want to hang on to. Do you see yourself keeping the health Mog throughout this whole thing?
Health Mog is still going to be useful.
Especially considering any new characters that join are going to be level 3.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mog! Come on! Be able to equip something, please!
Absolutely not. But he can use a scimitar.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get those seeds where it's like, you've got offerings, you've got valiant knives, you've got Atma weapons, you've got XP eggs, and somebody can equip one part of all of that, but nobody can put the whole thing together.
Ooh.
I'm gonna suck it up. need to do it. EXP egg, earring, EXP egg. Alright, we've done enough running around. It's time to get the party started. And this is actually a pretty linear seed for the start. Come on, jerks. No elixirs. So we're gonna start off with Gal stuff.
I mean, maybe that health mog isn't so bad if we can't find elixirs.
I always like it when I can do Gauss check first before I get any random encounters, so all I have to do is deal with the Lobo.
Yep,
I think
that's exactly.
I think it was Glue who said something about they'll either do it first or not at all if they don't have to.
That's not a bad attitude to have. It is nice that it's guaranteed progression, so it's either going to be a character or an Esper, it's not going to be an item.
Oh my god.
So sometimes that'll make me want to go after it.
You
But
saw that, right?
Oh.
You see that? Called it. Commentator curse. 16 cost multi-summon Bahamut.
Well, would you look at that? It teaches Bolt 2 at a rate of 1.
That's fine. Bahamut's better.
Well, Gao has something to do. Oh, but Mog can't. Oh,
Yeah.
poor boy.
Yeah.
What is going on? He got here late.
Whatever. I already said
Bump up that license board, buddy.
We got shields.
That's true, yeah. You can snap a shield. You can dodge a ball.
I have a feeling the encounters in here are not going to like those Thunder Shields.
I don't think anything's gonna like what I'm going to do to them.
Oh, so these should all be standard then, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, buddy. Time to suffer.
Yep. Ripped all these guys. Don't the little jellyfish absorb lightning, or am I thinking of a later game version?
I think you're thinking of the later game version. I think these guys still get zapped. We're gonna find out. Aspic. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
You know what? I probably should switch to Thunder Shields while I'm in here, because they do cast lightning, I believe. But also, just to make sure, yeah, I'm equipping Flame Shields. Because I gained some levels and don't want to straight up die to something silly. Oh.
I think Gao has the
Thunder Shield.
Minerva. Oh, he has the Thunder Shield. Well, he's got the Minerva on too.
Yep.
I guess the Fire Shield would have overwritten that.
So with Chaos,
Take it.
I like to start off with some grind fights, get myself ahead of the enemy scaling, which we will. Oh, Gal.
Getting some cash out of this too.
Oh, Gal's packing an ice shield? No, this is unacceptable. Oh,
Aha.
well, that's a good reason to not have a flame shield. He just can't use it. And this will dump us off at another shop too.
Yeah, already doing twice as much damage with these shields by the end of this.
Yeah, that's one of the kind of interesting things about. I know not all of the scaling that you have on the enemies is P highest. I know that's just sort of their base level, not their HP or anything. But even, I feel like a level 40 you versus a level 40 enemy is better for you. But a level 3 you versus a level 3 enemy is going to be better for the enemy.
Yeah. You get a lot stronger around like 10 or 12 is when things really start popping off.
Now we're talking.
Got some Merton.
Merton strats. Nothing special here.
And here I thought that guy was a loser.
The first time ever he's not a loser.
Oh, sadness. Still no elixirs. Oh, what was my money situation? 1.7? Not enough.
I suppose not really much use for Super Balls either.
None at all. Alright, I guess we are off to mod checks.
One potential use for Super Balls, I guess not quite with the seed because the enemy HP scaling, but you can have like a level 3 party go a side route in KT and throw some Super Balls at something with no HP. But the HP scaling is on this one is still based on your characters, Espers and Dragons. So,
well, we got our first character.
Oh, hey, it's Sabin.
we're going to be saving him.
Ouch. No refunds. I feel like I should see if Mog can wear the skin of his brethren.
Oh, hey, you're gonna get to play around with a couple of weirdos too.
Actually, I think the gold drop on these guys is the mammoth is actually okay. Or am I thinking of the other one? Let's find out.
I know the HP totals on the mammoth caught me off guard recently.
Oh yeah, we got money off of
They're-
this. So yeah,
They're a little tougher than they look. Yeah, it's not a bad amount.
See, that puts us at 30. I want us at 50.
Another nice thing about having all these elemental shields is you just get to hold A and just keep throwing shields, assuming you have the memory setting on, which
I do.
you do one of these and then you'll turn it on every time.
Jexrox, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Let's do a hypothetical. Let's say this priceless item flag wasn't turned on, and we weren't able to get access to 99 flame shields just for free by finding them. How do you think your offense would differ in that scenario, in that seed?
I would definitely be trying to get the M-Tech right now, rather than doing these grind fights. Like, I would not have bothered with any of that grind until I've got M-Tech. You jerk.
Yeah, I suppose is there? So I guess is there something you're looking for to replace cracking shields at this point, or are you comfortable doing this for a while?
Shields are gonna just carry this whole seed. That's the thing. Shields are just that good. They ignore reflect. And magic defensive stats. Like it's so. Shields are so good.
So there's the level 3 characters. Saban's going to take a minute to be able to get up to speed. Although I guess you have 50-something experience eggs, so...
Yeah. We're not too worried about that. Yet. Take a free heal while I'm at it, because I haven't found elixirs. Sure. Now we never checked the will to balance side of things here for potential free Esper. Or not Esper, yeah, we're not buying that yet.
Now, another thing I was wondering is what makes certain things eligible to be changed in Chaos? Because I know you said that we can't expect to ever see Iron Mog, like no saves. But, you know, are there certain criteria, certain, you know, boundaries that Chaos has?
Yes, there are definitely guardrails. As for the specifics of it, I know there's a sheet of it somewhere. I've read it once, and I lost it. But Chaos does have a pretty good variety of variation of the different flags. While True Chaos, all bets are off. You can have all kinds of crazy stuff happen, like
No Moogle Charms.
no Moogle Charms, EXP multiplier times 29. Oh wait, we were already here. That's right. We can just go straight for the progression. Money! Yeah, that's what we were looking for.
One quick weird thing that can happen is we see that the timer is on here. If you happen to be playing with Y remove and you decide to Y remove in here and the timer goes on, if you don't have Sabin and you can't complete this, I think you just have screwed yourself.
Yeah, you
So yeah, so if you're going to try to do that, you know, maybe you're trying to hunt down Monster in a Box for Katana Soul. Save before you go in here if you don't remember that event timers are on.
Yeah, that's another good reason to go and check the wiki. Is they have a listing of the known soft locks for stuff like that. I know Y remove is a particularly tricky one. It really messes with the logic of the game as well, so it can be good to check that out before you mess around with some of the weirder flags. I know another popular one is the Phantom Train, that little ghost that blocks you from leaving the car. You don't want to Y remove that guy because he's integral to the whole thing continuing.
He's the one who gives you the courage to jump. Exactly. We did pick up a Fenrir, which is probably one of my favorite things to see in multi-summon, because it's helpful all of Final Kafka.
Oh yeah, image is super powerful. 90 MP cost isn't the best, but
we'll probably find economizers or something for sale for free.
Oh, we already got gold hairpins.
Perfect.
There you go.
And we have a relic ring. That's probably really expensive. That's expensive. We just want to win an auction. I'm not worried about the other stuff.
A hero ring's not looking quite as shiny as it used to.
While we're doing the auction stuff, I wanted to talk about some of the options that you can have if you want to start doing some chaos stuff. But like me, it's really hard for me to run a seed unless there's like a community thing going on, like an async. It's not exactly chaos, but there's the draft weekly async, which ends up kind of dabbling into the same territory of drafting different changes to the flag set. There's usually a chaos tournament of the month that you can join. And they've been really good about being helpful to newbies and stuff. And if you happen to do those, you can always copy the flags and run a practice seed using those flags. There might be some things that are slightly different, like the objectives, but it can be a good way to just vibe out.
Jerk. Let's get him back on his feet. And start the murder train.
Yeah, this is an unfortunate find.
It's expected. Oh, and then there's that.
I mean, you could probably post anywhere in the Discord saying, I want to run chaos, how do I do it? And you'll get a few people desperate to get you to join in.
Yeah, if you ping to race, you will most likely get probably myself or Hefe willing to do a chaos run.
Yeah, I think Hefe just mentioned in the chat that there tends to be chaos races going on in the weekend mornings.
Yeah, Hefe and I...
Which, not a bad time for that.
Hefe and I do tend to run a lot of chaos. And we've most recently... Dr. DT has been quite the busy guy and created some new arguments. If people are familiar with, doing palette swaps or changing the music on a seed, like and tunes or and yeet. Hey, X potions. There's out of battle healing. There is a new argument and dungeon crawl that I have learned to love already. It essentially shuffles the dungeons and towns into one giant pool. And
Every day we get closer to having Final Fantasy VI Ancient Cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty close. Pretty close to it already. I've ran a couple of those. You have to get into the different mindset, but they're a lot of fun.
And if you happen to be one of those people who has no interest in this, but you do want to get really good at Ultras League, do Chaos anyway, because it can kind of force you to use certain strategies that you don't normally think about. And you never know when you'll be doing an Ultras League race and you have to use the lamest possible strategies to get through things. Like when, some weird offense thing is the only offense. And you kind of run into more of those edge cases when you do Chaos.
Yeah, it can be a really good learning experience to figure out some of the nooks and crannies of the game.
Oh, yeah. These fights don't give EXP, do they?
Kefka not looking too good these days.
Getting the morph treatment, I think. Got that permanent morph bug.
Hey, another character.
He got dropped into the other Joker vat.
Pugs. Well, we don't need no Minervas. Wait a minute. Why are pugs here?
That's what I was wondering. I would have assumed that these were considered fixed encounters.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
Hey, yeah, that's a good point.
If you're afraid of the vanilla game, don't worry. You don't normally have to fight 3 pugs this early in the game.
Yeah.
Let alone 2 times in a row.
It's weird that they're working for the Empire.
It's a good thing you can run from this fight.
What is going on? This is just weird. That's okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if they're just classified different for some reason. That first one was the regular one, the Soldiers and Templar.
And he started average level? Level 17? What is going on?
Did the flags turn off halfway through?
I don't know.
The seed was like, all right, I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what's going on, but let's roll with it. Sometimes that's just what you have to do. Oh, and here, have some stuff. Well, at least he has elemental protection. I'll take it.
Maybe they heard all the cyan hate and they felt like he needed a little boost.
He's not allowed to equip shields, though, for some reason. So that flag is still on for sure.
Oh wow, we are on a character find. She starts at level 3 with throw. Sold. Here, have some stuff. Let's dance.
I like how Cyan can just hang on to that experience egg. It's like, that's fine, buddy. We don't need it.
Oh wow, this fight just got interesting. Huh.
The one
Ooh.
thing that doesn't want flame shields or thunder
I can-
shields.
I can kill all those guys with all the little guys.
And having throw is pretty handy here.
Too bad Terra's level 3.
Good point.
Is weakness ice beam better than tech missile?
Oh yeah, good point. Well, let's.
Oh,
find out.
I legitimately didn't know.
Yeah,
I think
Technic's is still better.
Yeah, I think the defense ignoring properties of it probably would put it over the edge.
Oh, I could have been using Bahamut. Oops.
You were so excited about it too.
Well, now we got our chance. No, we don't. Bahamut is a lie. There we go.
And I believe when we were talking earlier, there is a kind of strange flag, which is steel shuffle, where if the items that get stolen get shuffled, it also shuffles the items that get dropped from enemies. I believe you mentioned earlier that that won't get changed if you're just doing regular chaos. But if you do random chaos seeds with the community, it'll probably end up getting snuck in there one way or another sometime. So
So
Go ahead.
yeah, the and loot argument is actually one of my favorite arguments to add on to chaos, because sometimes chaos can definitely be unforgiving. And loot randomize gives you 100% random enemy loot drops. So and on many occasions I have ran into empty shops or empty chests. So it turns into, when in doubt, grind for levels. Hey, we got a Yeti. We got our next 2 characters. And great. Yeah, sure, let's Bahamut this.
You know, at least this guy isn't too tough. Takes forever, but I did it again where you went by Mert and I was like, why wouldn't you cast Mert? Oh, well, because you could just crack a shield. Well, I guess this guy probably, I think he absorbs wind.
Fire.
Oh, is it fire?
Oh, that's right. Yeti's useless to me. You're useless to me, Yeti.
Aw.
Today he is.
Your rapid does nullify wind,
Nullify, okay.
but then absorbs fire. So
But also cracking shields.
Alright. Free check. I think we're going down the Esper Dragon route this seed. Or, sorry, Character Dragon. Oh my god. And let's see what Lone Wolf has for me today. Normally I save before I do this check in case the blind reward is worthless. Genji armor. Another Esper. I'll take it. And Terra wants it. Sure. Plus 10% HP. No. Go away, Yeti. So I don't have the Twitch stream up. Does chat have any questions for Chaos?
There's been a couple floating through. I've brought up along the way. I guess one that didn't get mentioned is what is up with these character palettes, which is a fair question to ask.
So that was an argument that I added to, or had added to the Chaos tag. It's and palette. Really, that guy caught me. Huh. Well, here, suffer.
Yeah, and I think what it does is it takes the current list of palettes that you can access through the site and just randomly assigns them to different characters. Though I think every party member on screen right now all wound up with the same one.
Yeah, which is a little unusual.
well, these are fun. This is a good seed to have 92 Thunder Shields.
Oh, yeah. And flame shields. And
Another question, was the rider vanilla? Yes, one of the flags that had gotten set was that the fixed encounters are going to stay the same. We're not sure what happened in the Imperial camp, but for the most part, so far that has been true. Oh yeah, hey, there's a really good question popping up. What are your favorite and least favorite flags to show up in Chaos? And I will put a slight asterisk next to whatever Jacksprock's answer is, that he loves doing this.
So, where the heck am I going? Hold on, let me think for a hot second.
Oh, sure.
Mount Coles. Yeah, sure, let's do it. Oh, no, Yeti check. That's my next character. That's right. So
And open world is the worst. So let's skip open world. It's the second worst.
I'm cool with open world.
Well, you're a freak. Tell us what you're not cool with.
Split EXP. I don't think anybody likes that flag.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one's rough.
Split EXP in combination with no boss EXP. That is.
Don't make us do Madwin again.
That is one of the. Madwin had boss experience.
Yeah, barely.
The problem was that it had a. Like this seed has a ×3 experience multiplier. Madwin had a ×2 with the split EXP. That was the big problem with it. That made EXP gains extremely horrid.
So what do you like to see?
From Chaos, barter cheap shops, increased character stats, a wide variety of viewable rewards in the Coliseum, high randomized chests, highly randomized chests. So like 35% or higher randomization on chests. Same thing with shops.
Yeah, do you have a preference, chests versus shops, to where you want to be finding your really good gear?
Chest. Definitely chests. Because they don't cost me money when I'm shopping. I like to use my shopping for consumables or that piece of clutch gear.
Okay.
What about you, Turdsman?
It's actually not too often I buy armor in a shop. Can she use the flame shield? No. She can just throw. Oh, whatever. Just throw shields.
Now, Turdsman, do you have enough chaos experience, or just enough experience with the wild flag sets that people make in this community, to have a favorite and a least favorite?
I think we touched on it a bit with Madwin, but low XP rewards from enemies. Boss XP being off would be a real bummer. I think that's probably my least favorite thing, since levels are so good in the game. Slowing that down is probably just going to slow the whole seed down.
Now, me personally don't. Now, if there was low EXP gains, but Final Kefka was scaled, that wouldn't bother me.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad. But normalize and distort kind of makes me nervous. But I think in practice it doesn't mess things up too terribly bad. But I guess having a set of scaling that I wasn't too used to would have to keep in mind. Like, I don't know, like scaling based off of time or something like that would be nerve-wracking.
So, time scaling, time ×2. It's one level like every 2 minutes. It's when you see time ×1 is when you gotta start worrying. when you want to grind fights as your early game, or doing your early game loot and scoop, that's when you need to be conscientious of it.
As far as favorites, though, I tend to like shops a little bit more than chests because I have a bit more control over what I have. So I guess my new favorite would probably be the priceless items being turned off or turned back on.
At level 17.
I don't know if that's. I don't think that's the average for what you got now, but
Well, we just unlocked Final Kefka.
hey, congrats.
Yeah,
What
sure.
about you, Cerise? I think you probably have a bit more experience than I do. What sort of stuff do you like to see, or not like to see?
Yeah, I always like Y remove, just because I like being able to do MTech.
Ooh,
every
yeah.
possible seed. Like the first 2 checks are really handy. And also, I mean, you only have to be annoyed by the Returner's House guy one time to really want Y remove. B dash is a lot of fun. Although if I do too many B dash seeds in a row, I'll get sick. A kind of weird one that I've dealt with once or twice before is party average scaling, where you can do this really silly thing where you leave one of your characters dead the entire seed to drag the enemy scaling down.
Yep, I've done that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Have one drag one character around on a rope who's taking a dirt nap, cuddling his Moogle plushie.
And then also multi-summon, I really like, because Espers don't get a lot of love.
That one is, I think, the most interesting one that I've been running into lately, because, playing the vanilla game, you don't really use summons that often. You're usually not having to worry too much about calmness protection or getting a unique source of confuse or whatever. But in playing this, having certain... Like, that Bahamut would have been clutch if there weren't, multiple shops with a bunch of shields in them.
Oh, absolutely. Same thing with the MTech.
And then as far as least favorites go,
Ow!
are we
Darn it.
hurting?
2 Moogle charms.
Aha!
Oh, yeah.
It just came up.
Obviously I would hate that. Past that, Zinger on.
Oh, yeah.
is annoying.
Zinger with permadeath.
One weird combination that came up recently that I managed to do okay with was B dash with sprint shoes, but then not everyone can wear sprint shoes, and the 2 starting people couldn't wear sprint shoes because then you feel like if you don't find that character you can use sprint shoes right away, you're going to be way behind everyone else. And then open world, I don't like.
No.
But mostly it's all fine. It tends to be a combination of things that really make certain ones worse.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they can anti-complement each other. Oh, ew.
Well, at least it was Shadow that ate it.
I mean, even with the much maligned and justifiably maligned Madeline Seed flag set, I really liked how Final Kefka was, for once, the hardest part of the seed.
That's true.
It tends to not necessarily be the hardest. It can be the one where the most things can go wrong. But you typically go in with enough of a game plan and you kind of know how to handle it. So having that really be the true finale was nice. So even the worst seeds can have something good about them.
Yeah, Final Kefka is essentially a solved puzzle. You just have to make sure you have all the pieces before you get there. And you can make up for it by being clever along the way. And then Madwin C definitely required you to be a little bit more clever.
Please die. Thank you.
Oh no, my least favorite is absolutely monsters in treasure chests. Random encounters in chests.
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, actually,
one
I
scene
think
in
you might be
particular.
right on that one.
There was an official race, and one of the first chests, everybody went to South Figaro and got hit by Madam Outsiders.
I remember that one. I'm trying to remember what the event was, it was in that room with the 4, like that storage shed that they've got, or not shed, but with like the 2 clocks and as the door that leads into the basement. And one of them was a Madam Outsider, and I think the other one was like there was another one that was a batch of pugs.
Bonus points if you can't run away from them.
Yes.
Yeti's unequipable, isn't he? Oh no, he's equipable. Thank you, Yeti.
Chat bringing up there was a seed of the week with a goddess in the Nar shed at one point. That's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just really hit rock bottom.
I ran into that a couple of times.
Yeah, I get, just to plug the seed of the week a little bit, that's another really good way to get your feet wet on some flags you might not be super used to. There's a big database of seeds and flag sets that people have submitted, and one gets picked every week and sent out to everybody on the Discord. So if you want to give those a shot, head on over to the Discord. There's a big list of them going back a little ways too, so if you want to try some of the older ones, you can.
I don't think any of the abomination seeds have made it into this seed of the week.
My understanding is they're vetted to a certain extent.
I've got a few I want to add to it, but I don't know if other people want me to add them.
Only one way to find out.
By the way, my classification of abomination seed is a seed that takes 5+ hours.
Yeah, I suppose that's the main determining factor on if you're going to enjoy a chaos seed or not, is just what your particular thirst is for that sort of thing. Like, they're not all going to be huge time sinks that's going to require you to, clear your schedule for the day and all that. But if you're going into it with the intent of trying to learn some new stuff, it might be a good idea to be ready to, spend a little bit more time than an Ultros League seed.
This fight's worth a lot of EXP.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, this one isn't super bad.
It's worth a lot of EXP.
Congratulations to Umaro. Wow, 18,000.
If I hit another one of that fight, sure, whatever. I'll take it.
Also, if you happen to Y remove one of those things, you can just leave the room and come back. You have not just ruined your life.
In general, I think that's how the soft locks happen, is if you do it in a room that you can't leave and come back in. That tends to reset NPC locations.
So that would be Phantom Train? That's one
Yes.
of the spots.
I think the way it works in the collapsing house is if the event isn't ticked on that you're doing the Sabin stuff, then because walking out of the house is what activates the next part of that scenario. And I think if you haven't started it, then you can't actually leave the house because it doesn't have the flag set.
Yeah.
Really? You didn't die to that?
Oh, hey, these guys again.
Nice chunk of EXP. Thank you, EXP eggs.
Bless them for trying,
I mean, he upgraded since getting those dogs.
Validation chest.
That's who was piloting the little planes.
Ow. This fight? Well, that's annoying.
Ah, boo.
You know what? Might as well just swing sticks. It'll make things go faster.
I mean, you haven't lived until you've done a piranha fight with 20 thunder shields. Yeah, we didn't get any this time, but something that comes up. I'm not sure how much it can come up in just the regular chaos argument, but things like auto statuses. There's good ones like auto dog block, and there's bad ones like auto berserk and auto mute.
Yeah, I think those are attached to the objectives, I believe. So it could be one of the random ones that pop up. You could get lucky, and it will only activate if you do 60 checks.
Yeah. Or you get something like if you get Cyan, enemy boss levels go up 49 levels, and you start with Cyan.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But something that I learned a bit too late for one particular seed is with something like Auto Berserk, you can work around it by equipping relics that prevent Berserk. You cannot, but you cannot remedy your way out of it.
Yep.
Interesting.
My first time running into that situation, not being able to remedy your way out, was with auto mute.
Yes.
I did not know that distinction was there.
Yeah, you don't want to find out about it in the middle of a seed.
I knew.
Oh yeah.
When you're like, I'll just.
So there's two different things. One is Imp Song, and the other one is Auto Imp. Imp Song you can work your way out of. Here is an instance of Normalize and Distort doing its thing. Tunnel Armor just ate 9999 damage.
I didn't know Tunnel Armor could take any damage.
Normally, no.
But with Normalize and Distort, you can.
Thankfully, that means the rest of his stats are probably worse.
I've seen him get me before.
Another flag that I like is we saw, I think it was Element was the ability scaling. Whatever the default is what's on now. But there's one, it'll come up in draft races as phase shift, it's called. That's not what it's called in the actual flags. But it changes the elements that enemies will use.
Oh.
So you'll suddenly get, people doing some wild stuff you weren't prepared for. So suddenly Goddess is throwing flare stars at you.
Yep.
Also, whatever flags end up turning on weird stuff like Atma doing Fallen One into Goner. Those are always fun.
You know what, Yeti? Here, have an offering. Because you're just not gonna care. Alright, Yeti might care. Nope, he doesn't care. Oh, right. That's right. Undead. Keep the Revify.
Yeah, I think Undead, Flag On, and Multi-Summon are two of the most easily forgotten ones.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see some of the smartest, best players in this game post in the acing spoilers after we finish a race saying, I completely forgot. But I could just revivify that Haydn or multicast that Fenrir.
Yeah, I think those two can change the way that you're going to go through the seed quite a bit, and they're very minor that they tend to not get clicked too often. I think multi-summon probably a little bit more common than the undead flag being turned off, but usually the undead flag, I figure it out after I try to cast Doom on something.
105-18 tile tap.
Yeah, and since Final Kefka is, I think, standard, and you're quite a few levels ahead of what you would normally be in an Ultros League seed, I think suffice to say, I don't think Kefka is going to win this one.
He might be a little more annoying with Normalize and Distort.
That's true.
So Girl's going to be something I'm going to have to deal with one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
I can't just shield my way through her. but I got M-Tech and Bahamut. So
So yeah, you do have backup plans. So I guess that is a good lesson that something like, shield cracking, which can get you through 90% of a siege, you still have to have that plan B for when you run into the thing that doesn't work on it. And thankfully, with Lady in Tier 3, you're guaranteed to run into something that is highly resistant to elements, so you want to always have a plan B source of damage in your back pocket. Opening with reverse polarity, that's rude.
and hitting Terra twice. That is very rude. Alright, let's take care of the head. And you know what? Let's I don't like her health being that low.
And this is one of the things I really like about multi-summon Fenrir, is it's useful in basically every single tier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who has Fenrir right now.
I mean, maybe no one could equip it.
Oh, somebody
That's possible.
has it. I just don't remember who. It's got to be Gao. Yeah, let's get that Fenrir up.
And another good tip, in case you didn't know, you don't have to target everything with a shield crack. You can just target a single thing. So that's good for getting through here without having to deal with a million death counters all at the same time.
Yeah, you can press right to target the party, and then when you press left again, it'll just go back to the little single hand. I think that applies to all the breakables too, so the rods as well.
Except Pearl Rod.
Oh, right, because that's single target no matter what.
Same thing with Poison Rod. Single target only. And Gravity Rod, I think, is single target. Is Gravity Rod single target?
I think so. I think it's demi and not quarter. I never break them.
Yeah, Gravity Rod and Poison Rod are zero target because you don't target
Right,
anyone.
yeah.
Anyone but the shopkeep with them.
You hand it to him. Here, can you throw this away for me?
Might as well just keep breaking shields.
Yeah, one nice thing to remember is if you keep doing even damage like this to all of Tier 2, you'll kill everything before it kills magic. So you'll still have some time to recover after, 10 hits. I mean, I don't know if Normalize and Distort could possibly change that enough, but...
Yeah, it might.
Well, that's
Also, if Life 3
down.
comes out, that can fuss with things a little bit. Here comes
No!
10 hits.
Oh my god. It missed. My Fenrir user almost got muted.
Ooh.
That would have really made things interesting.
Fun fact, did you know that using mute on magic can miss?
Yeah,
did not.
recently heard that.
Yeah, it happened to me in an async. I used Siren and didn't notice that it missed. I think it's like a Pokemon style miss, like a 1 in 255.
Like just the way that the math works, it has to be there. It can't be a fully accurate thing.
Something like that, yeah.
You just happen to cast Mute on the right frame.
Imagine Mute gets on a bus.
Oh yeah, plenty of Plan Bs. Got a scimitar I can throw at girl's head too.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Ow! Really? They really do not like Terra.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, here's a pretty good example of how Lady ends up being the thing that it notifies everybody whether or not no Normalize and Distort is on. She has taken almost 15,000 damage at this point. And she's still kicking.
I just keep thinking this is going to be the thing that kills her.
There she goes.
Surely the fourth Bahamut casting will take care of her. Ah, well, nevertheless.
Oh, I need to be careful here. Alright, pop that up. Now we're good.
Image is so powerful in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Just the fact that it has a chance of dispelling and not a set number that it works is enormous.
Yeah.
I mean, just dogs in general are just very
God.
overpowered in
Mhm.
6.
Yeah, let's
It's
just
good,
get
good pups in this game.
kill.
Let's see how much this Meteo hurts.
Oh!
So, a bit more
Oh!
than normal.
Uh-oh!
Yeah,
Yeah, Mod and Gao didn't care.
that totally happened.
Okay, this makes some sense. Just get through it. You know, you can take Final Kefka with these two guys.
Well, I got 2 other characters that I power leveled, so...
Oh yeah, everybody had an experience egg.
And Kefka might be downscaled a bit.
Oh yeah.
Or upscaled. AI upscale
Most
Kefka.
likely downscale.
I was hoping that Umaro would sneak his way into the final fight anyway.
No, if I lost one more character, he would have.
Shadow looking like Bebop or Rocksteady after taking about 70% damage.
Alright, let's get ready on time.
Yeah, immediately into the Goner phase.
Boom. GG's.
There he is.
So yeah, this chaos seed that we ran into was was easy mode. The priceless shops was the one thing we were able to abuse to make this seed go fast. Honestly, it could have probably gone a lot faster if I just grabbed my shields and ran.
So yeah, is that your experience generally with Chaos Seeds? Is that there's usually at least one thing going on that if you know the game well enough, you can use that to get on the rocket sled to the end?
Yes. There's usually a couple of things that are able to let you move forward on the seed. Sometimes there's nothing. It's literally just grind for levels and hope for the best. Because I've ran into plenty of Chaos Seeds where there's no magic. It
Just none altogether.
Yep, just none altogether, or you'll have no white magic, that kind of thing. It absolutely happens. Getting priceless items into shops is actually pretty rare. That is a very rare flag to run into.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I'd seen it.
When you see it, you love it. But with it being in combination of 10% randomness in the shops, that kind of hurt a little bit. But it was still worth running around looking at shops to see what you could find. Or no, shops were 30% random, chests were to 10%.
So what would you say, I mean, I know we went through kind of all of the flags, but what do you think is the most crucial thing when you're kind of first learning the vibes and you may not have everything memorized and it's easy to miss things? What do you think is the biggest consideration going into a seed?
Understand your scaling. Enemy scaling, your experience, magic and gold multipliers. Basically, your battle. All the flags sitting underneath the battle section. Understand them. That is.
I'm going to be honest. I was only going to ask you that so that I could say the thing you just said when you were talking.
Yeah.
But it really is crucial.
Yep. Understanding scaling and EXP multipliers and all that fun stuff. And because there's going to be instances where you are never going to get ahead of enemies. Like, we were never going to get ahead of enemy level scaling with this flag set because it was party highest times 1.5. I was sitting at level 40, which means enemies were sitting at level 60. Their max level was 69.
Nice.
So by the end of the seed, yeah, I know I said that.
It was all over the place in this seed, actually. There's
so really and you'll run into that with the HP MP, party highest times 1.5 or times 2. Oh, excuse me. Where it'll be max level 45. Enemies will not start getting easier to kill until you hit like level 20 something when you get the party highest times 2. So sometimes you just have to grind out levels to get to that point. Which there are instances where I do that. Find a good grind fight and just level up.
Yeah, and understanding the scaling can be good, especially if you have kind of a weaker start to begin with. You know, you're level 3. Maybe the scaling is 3 times character Esper Dragon instead of the 2, which usually is, and you also start with 3 Espers. You know, you're not going to want to put yourself into a hole by doing a bunch of free checks and getting more characters and Espers. You know, your first priority is figuring out how to get around that scaling.
Yep.
Everything else you can kind of eventually figure out your way through.
Yeah, figuring out the scaling is a big part of the battle. In combination with the percentage character stat variation. Because if you got low character stats, you might have to grind. You will most likely have to grind additional levels to kill things faster.
Yeah, and just remember, everybody, no matter how good that character is, that throw, shock, Gao, if it has 5 speed, you're not going to be using it.
Yeah.
If you have a character with 5 speed, never have them be a goon. Never equip the Dragon Boots, Dragon Horn on that character. It's awful.
They'll do it once, and then they'll just never come back down.
Also,
So if you really hate Trago, there's a good way to get rid of him.
Yeah. Also, if you ever have a Dragoon that is in the air, do not cast a quick spell. You will quick lock your character into the sky inevitably.
This game is so well programmed.
I've done that many times. Why is my character not coming down? Why am I hearing the jump animation? Where's my character? He's not here. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Got lost in the temporal vortex.
Oh yeah, it's happened to me on Tier 4 Kefka. It has cost me fights.
And Turtzman, did you have anything to add? Something you'd want to look out for, or is it just scaling again like the rest of us?
I mean, yeah, scaling is the big one, but it's a good opportunity to figure out what a lot of the flags that you might take for granted actually do. Like we talked a lot about scaling, and it's pretty. I mean, it'd be a pretty tough argument to make that isn't the most important thing to look at. But there's a lot of other little things too, like the priceless items flag. You probably would have ran into that anyway, just going around and looking at shops. But figuring out ahead of time, okay, that's where my power is probably going to come from, is getting super lucky in a shop. Chaos Seeds can maybe help you look at the flags that a lot of people tend to take for granted, myself included.
Now, if I was just a poor newbie who wanted to get into some of this Chaos fun, or just Worlds Collide fun in general, what should I do?
To get into the Chaos?
Get into any of this. We can do Chaos.
Just go into the Seedbot channel, !Chaos. Type it in, try it out. And the only way to really get an idea of it is to literally just get into it and play it. Or if you're looking at just how a specific flag works, set yourself up with an Ultra seed, an Ultras League seed, and change that one flag and play with it. Especially on like the scaling side of things, and it'll give you an idea of what's going on. And before we even had this chaos option, I would do the Jexy Mad Doc Labs, which was me creating out of this world wacky flag sets just to see weird flag combinations interact with each other. And Chaos does that for me now. I can just type in !Chaos and boom, I got some weird randomness and the thing is, there are still random flag combinations that come up that surprise me, that affect gameplay. It still happens. And,
I think
and just your random RNG in game.
Yeah, I think in general, if you jump into the Discord, that's going to be your jumping off point for a lot of. Yep. Okay. So yeah, my guinea pig Couscous also says, "Hey, join the Discord." That's going to be where you're going to find a lot of the info. The wiki that we talked about is linked up in there. That or the Worlds Collide website, ff6worldscollide.com. And that has a link to the Discord as well if you happen to be seeing this not live. But if you are seeing it live, then our magnificent host, Drinks Glue, has posted that link in the chat right now.
Yes, I agree. So yes, anybody that is new to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide and would like to learn this lovely randomizer, please join our community. As sorry, I did not realize. As was just said, ff6worldscollide.com. There is a link to our Discord. Please join our community. Got a bunch of great people. We do have the Moogle Mentorship Program, where you will be teamed up, where you can be teamed up with a veteran that will teach you the randomizer, the different strats we use, and all that fun stuff. Also, please give our Restream team and our a follow on Twitch. And yeah, GG's and thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, shout outs to all of our trackers and our restreamers. We got Glue restreaming, Gretham on the tracking. They do all the real hard work. We can just sit up here and talk, and it's fine. I mean, even playing Worlds Collide is easier than tracking it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, easily.
Pushing random buttons on a controller, things happen.
All right. Well, thank you again, Jexrox, for volunteering your time tonight. Series, Gretham, Turdsman as well. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. We're going to raid on over to Jesus the Frog, who is doing, I think he's the last one who used the Chaos Turn of the month. So more chaos. So let's go pay Jesus the Frog a visit, and hope everybody has a wonderful night.
Yes, one more thing. Also, keep an eye out in sometime in the future. We will also be doing a True Chaos tutorial. So yeah, keep your ears open for that one.
All right, thanks for watching, y'all.
Thanks, everybody.
GG's.
All right, we should be clear.
Yay.